And you draw like inspiration from podcasts. I know you draw inspiration from Lana Del Rey. Like what else? Like you are a letterer. You have to have something to letter. Like
right.
So like what do you find yourself like attracted to the most?
So I just wrapped up an art show in Nashville, and I needed content for that.
Yeah.
So I did all female quotes that were kind of inspiring, like that one by R.S. Gray, She Believed She Could, So She Did, like that's a classic one. And then I pulled ones from like other designers, like What Am I Gonna Make Next by that artist on Abstract. What is her name? She has her own episode on Abstract. It's really good.
Is she the
Publisher. There we go. I saw her talk in Cleveland.
What?
Was blown away. And one of my favorite creative directors once said, like, oh, she's fucking hot because she's so brilliant and stuff like that. I'm like, yes.
That's awesome.
It gets, like, I want to be that when I'm, like, 50, 60.
Same.
Like, a genius in the field still. And very active and very, like, cool.
I don't even care if I'm considered a genius. I just want to be active. Like,
yes.
I just want people to say, he works hard. He likes what he does.
Knowing you, that's already in the bag.
No.
Yes.
But as long as I'm doing stuff like this for the next 50, 60 years, at least,
I'll be happy.
How did this all start? Like, do you remember... The one question I did have in my head was, do you remember when you started identifying yourself as a letterer? Because I don't remember when I started calling myself a photographer. Like, it just transitioned from, I like to take pictures to, I'm a photographer.
Huh. Well, I mean, I always talk about how I got my start in high school because I loved all the emo music, and everybody makes fun of me for this.
Oh, and I remember you saying this to me because I was like, that's my girl. I get it.
But you know, I was the person in high school doodling lyrics to Take Me Back Sunday, like, because that's the only way I could stay awake in school. Like, I fell asleep in every class, and if it wasn't for drawing lyrics, like, I would have been lights out.
Yeah.
So that's when I'm like, okay, I draw words. But, like, I had no idea what lettering was, what typography even was. Like, never took a design class. So, I mean, that was like a hobby in high school. Then I went to college, and after college, I, like, picked it up again because I was back in my, like, home growing up and around all my high school stuff. So I think, like, that's what brought me back to it. And, like, on Instagram, I somehow found, like, hashtag lettering. And that's how I'm like, oh, these are my people. Like, I do this now. So that's how that all started. So I guess a little in high school, but officially right after graduating college.
Okay.
2012.
And what did you study in college?
Graphic design, but they called it freaking visual communication design.
That's not a thing.
They changed it right after our class graduated.
Of course they did.
This is a new thing, yeah.
Oh, I didn't go to college, but when I was in high school, I went to a vocational school, and they didn't change the title of the course. They just upgraded all the equipment from like 6 years ago, the year after I left. And I was like, thanks.
Oh no! I'm just writing the word the.
It's okay. I'll just casually move out of frame.
Oh, okay. Just back in,
just
back
constantly
out,
getting out of the frame. It's just you.
Where did you go?
But I was the same way in high school, where like, not only did I not pay attention, like I wasn't just asleep, I wasn't even there most of the time. Like my mom would just like let me like stay home from school, and she'd call me in sick. Because
lucky.
like I would tell her I was sick, and she like was empathetic for me. But like I was staying home, and I was like on Flickr and like taking photos.
Flickr, yes.
Yeah, remember Flickr?
Yes.
That's where I started. Like that was my like all the kids now that are like on Instagram, like that's where they started like learning how to take photos from other people. I learned from people on Flickr.
Oh, I use Flickr for MySpace if I needed like a photo
you could embed
to
a photo.
Yeah. That's what that
it's
was.
really interesting because I never did that. I embedded all my MySpace photos from PhotoBucket.
Oh yes.
Remember Photo?
Yes. And like the little like when GIFs were a square big and stuff. Yes.
And like you had to use like PhotoBucket to create them because they were just like still images that you had to loop.
Oh my god. Yes. Well, I didn't take it that far. You're like getting into engineering stuff, and I'm like
No one has
engineering a GIF.
No one has ever called me an engineer of anything. So thank you for that very large compliment.
Yes, one of many.
Yes.
But please continue.
No,
So Flickr, photo bucket.
Yeah. Wait, what, now are you getting in my history?
Yeah, like when did you identify as a photographer? In high school?
So I don't remember when I started identifying personally. Mm-hmm. I just remember I took my high school best friend's senior photos, and I showed I was showing them to my other high school best friend, and his dad said, "You're like a hotshot photographer now." And I said, "No, I'm not." And he's like, "Yeah, you're a professional." And I was like, "No, I'm not." He's like, "Did you get paid for that?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Then you're a professional." And I was like, "Oh,
okay.
I guess I am a professional. I'm a photographer." So I guess like that's the only like real like light switch moment that
when you get paid for what you do.
Like when someone told me like, "Hey, you get paid for what you do. You're a professional now." Now, how true is that? I don't know, but at this point I am, so I guess it worked.
I like that definition. You know, you're a professional if you get paid for what you do.
Yeah.
And how do you, like, where do you go to, like, find inspiration for your personal photography style?
This is all about me now.
Well, I'm just so curious, because, like, for an artist, like, you go to Pinterest, you go to Behance, you go to Dribbble, like, there's all these, like, portfolio sites you can get inspiration from, or like the art museum, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that just comes so natural to me. Like if I need inspiration for a project, I know where to go. If like I was an art director for photography, I had no idea. Like I would still use Behance because you can like put in art direction or photography and like find some stuff. But as a photographer, like what are your go-tos?
I mean, so I kind of feel like, if anything, if I'm actually inspired by photography itself, it's usually stuff that I find on Instagram. I'm really inspired by it. Like right now, I've really been following photographers that spend time capturing like a life experience that I don't have.
That's deep.
Well, like because it's like something like.
Like ones that aren't allergic to 45 things?
I mean, yeah, some people that can
like
actually
a
go
life
outside.
Experience.
No, but like,
I'm kidding.
No, it's great. But like, so like, there's this photographer on Instagram that I follow. His Instagram handle is PhotoDre, and like,
I like his handle.
It's great. His name is Andre. It's PhotoDre.
PhotoDre.
But do you need me to move over?
No, I'm just coming back this way. You can stay there.
Okay. But so like he goes out and he like walks around New York City all day and takes photos of like I think he specifically, if I can remember correctly, he specifically kind of like walks around like West Harlem and the Harlem area and like documents like just the people of that community. And like I grew up in a completely different area. I was in a bubble. I was insulated. So like to be able to see that, it kind of like inspires me to go out and try to meet as many people from different areas as I can to kind of like, I'll never have that experience, but at least I can talk to people that do, and I can learn from their experiences.
That's cool. Is he what gave you inspiration to start doing your podcasting?
No.
Or that's something totally
that just
unrelated?
I guess I just kind of gravitate towards those people just naturally. But let's talk more about you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel rude because I ask you a question and then I'm like, okay, I don't care. I'm like doing this, like
no, you're
eye
good.
contact gone.
No, I
do it to everybody.
I think every time I've been here, you've just been like, I have so much to do. Like you put so much. No, you put so much on your plate that like it is any time you even remotely ignore me, which I never feel that you do. But if you do, it is done in such a loving way.
But I feel so bad because the last time I ignored you, you're like, sorry if I'm being annoying, and then nothing.
Well, that's great. No, that
honestly, was the one text I was gonna ignore.
And
I know how to pick them.
But I feel like with everything, I've gotten to a point where like I know how bad I am at texting, so there's no way I can take anyone's like anyone ignoring me like with any like weight. because like I am so bad at getting back to people. Unless like someone emails me like about a project, like a client, I'm like, you have to realize it's like a 2-minute to like 60-day period where I'll get back to you.
60 days. Wow.
There have been people like that have been like months where I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Oh my god.
Do you, I mean, for the most part, are you good at keeping up with like people? Like, how do you balance the like life and work?
I used to be amazing at keeping up with people. Like, I just like did things right away, and people were like, "Oh my god!" Like that was the quickest response. I was like, "Yay!" Like I have client happiness down.
Yeah.
Now these days, everything is everywhere, and like I'm working to try to get it all like calm and stuff, but like with projects like these, I am not checking my phone and like emails and stuff, and by the time I get home I'm dead. So like I'll check it tomorrow, and tomorrow becomes like 60 days. So it's kind of fallen off, and I'm trying to get better at it, but yeah, like I've never had this issue before where responding was an issue. So
yeah.
Trying to navigate that a little better. I try not to do more than 2 days. Like that is my red flag, but it's getting there. So, I have used auto reply.
Okay.
So through the whole month of February, and I'm sorry to like anybody who emails me right now, but they're getting a like, hi, I am working on 6 walls like for the rest of February, so I'm looking at my paintbrush and not my phone. I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
See, you handle like rejection with like the most innocent, like sweet, kind response.
They don't have my voice saying that, so it's a little more harsh. It's like, I can't respond.
Yeah, I'm
like,
sure.
Who knows what voice?
I'm sure that they look at your face and like, that's what she sounds like.
Maybe.
Okay, so that's how you kind of like, that's where you're at with like your like work balance. Like, how is it like, I know you just got married, like, how is it like with like your husband? Does he like used to you working this much? Is it kind of normal for you guys because you dated for so long?
That's a great question.
And if it's too personal, you don't...
No. This is a great question. I don't know how I would be doing any of this without him, because someone needs to be at the apartment, like, not at the apartment, but like keeping up with buying groceries and making sure we have toilet paper and just stuff like that. Like when I was living by myself, I kind of let stuff like that slide. I'd be eating pancakes every morning, like, and microwavable meals, like, all the time. And now I have, like, home-cooked meals. And I, like, tell him, like, I just need to get my feet on the ground with the business, and then eventually, like, you know, let's make it 50-50. Yeah, let's keep it 50-50. But he has been awesome to, like, help with the business and, like, getting it off the ground and stuff. But, we do have mandatory date night every week.
That's awesome.
And, yes. And when we can, like, we turn business trips into actual trips and stuff like that. So making it work and feeling as normal as we can. Yeah. And, like, he'll be here at, like, to bring me dinner, and, like, he's FaceTiming people, showing them the wall. And I'm just like, oh, my God. Like, people, like, it's so hard to find sometimes. I've dated guys in the past where they don't get, like, my ambition and stuff. I'm like, I don't want to go out. Like, I need to work on something. I have a really great idea. I need to get down on paper. And she's like, what? Loser. No wonder nothing else has worked out. No, I'm kidding.
But no, I know exactly where you're coming from.
And yeah, it's helpful that, like, he doesn't get jealous, and he's very understanding, and he's actually excited for my success and stuff. And I'm excited for his. So we try to, like, support each other. It's a good system.
And it sounds like he doesn't feel like he's competing with you.
Right. Growing up, like, guys were always scared to get girlfriends because they didn't want to lose, like, they didn't want to lose their friends to dating a girl.
Or their independence, you can call it. Yeah.
Right, and independence and stuff like that. Like, he can go out with the guys because I'm at home, like, working on a project. Like, we can make our schedules align like that. And he can go golfing. Like, his favorite thing to do is golf. So
awesome.
Saturday mornings, he'll go golfing, and I'll, like, post up at a coffee shop and let her. It's awesome.
And the thing that I always liked about, like, both people being independent is when you are together, you have things to talk about. Because if you're always together, it's like, I can't tell you anything. You already know everything that I would tell you because you've been here the whole time.
That's such a fantastic point. That wraps up the chapter of dating on this episode.
No, but so you're traveling a lot for speaking and stuff, which is, like, a little jealous, if you want to be honest. So, like...
Please take my spot, then. Like, it's so uncomfortable leading up to it. Once you're done, and actually, in Nashville, I made someone cry.
What?
Right?
Tears of joy? Or did you, like, or you mean
He was just like, I've been having, I'm in a rough patch and stuff, and I really needed to hear this. And he just started crying, and I was like, oh my God. So my reaction was to, hey, what do you do? Like, you're a music student here? That's cool. What music do you play? Like, trying to get his mind off of it. Afterwards, Mark is like, you should have hugged him. Like, you cruel person. I'm like, shit. So next time I know what to do.
You, like I said, like with this, constantly learning.
Yes.
You have to make the mistake to know what you did wrong.
That poor guy. It's like, she has no soul. Like, she said all those words. I don't believe any of it. Is she human?
Or he was like, I'm so glad she didn't hug me. I'm so afraid of people hugging me. So you never know. It could have been a good thing.
Oh my God. You just like freak out if I
yeah.
touch him.
He's like, don't touch me. But thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. There could
That's
be
a
that
possibility. Yeah.
Yep, I'm not ruling it out. So yeah, it was very rewarding talking to students. Like, there was a couple people that said, like, oh, like, I really liked your presentation. Majority just, like, went on to do whatever the class they had next and stuff, but it was whatever. The teachers loved it. They're like, oh, you need to come back every semester. I'm like, no, it's a little expensive, so maybe no, but...
Yeah. Are you going to pay for that coming back?
Right,
because if you will, of course I'll come back. But where else are you going this year for talking? I mean... You can tell me wherever you want to tell you you're going.
I'm doing a workshop at Creative South, which is a design conference in Columbus, Georgia. Really confusing. I thought it was Columbus, Ohio the first time I heard it. I'm like, there's a design conference in Columbus? Like, I need to go. It's a little further away, but that'll be fun. There's a lot of people that go there, like, from the Instagram world. So my first time was last year. I made a fool of myself. I, like, started drinking, and then I was freaking out when I saw, like, people. I'm like, I've been following you for years, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I love your work, and this is so awesome. And it, like, got really intense. And that person is just, like, how would you respond if someone came up to you and was like that, you know? You're just like, thanks.
Well, the thing is, like...
They didn't hug me.
See? So... But what have we learned? Designers don't know how to interact with people.
No.
No. But, no, like, I've had people, like... So, when I started actually, like, posting photos of myself on my Instagram, I had people that, like, would, like... Not a lot of people, but some people recognized me, and I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. Like, am I supposed to, like, talk to them? Is it rude to just be like, thanks, and, like, walk away? Like... Like,
take some advice from JT. Don't be so quick to walk away.
No, like, but usually I find myself, I'm like, what do you, like, I do the same thing you did. I was like, what do you do? Like, what is this? Like, and they're like, I don't want to have a conversation with you. I just want to tell you that I know who you are. Like, that's what it feels like.
I know you. Bye.
Yeah, I feel like I'm doing the wrong, like, the thing that I said that you're like, you shouldn't do that. That's what they want from me, and I'm just, like, trying to be, like, so nice, and they're like, just take the compliment and leave us alone.
They're just like, oh, you talk? Like, I thought you were just an Instagram account.
I thought you just took photos. I don't want to hear your voice. And so I started a podcast.
You're not a person. Perfect. Yeah, make them come to you.
Yeah. Also, I'm, like, definitely in your way.
No, you're not.
You're extending your reach farther. You'd move over if I wasn't here.
I'm giving you 10% of this scaffolding. Like, you're not in my way.
I'm also not doing anything except standing and holding a microphone.
I should give you a piece of chalk, and you can, like, just draw, like, a sun. I do this for a living.
And I was just going to say, that you did that in, like, half a second, and way better than anything I could have done.
Right.
No, my artistic ability ends with technology. It starts and ends with technology.
This was in my speech. Anybody could do it because it just is putting in hours, you know?
Oh, fair enough. I
Yeah.
literally just said about photography
Yay!
like the other day. Like
okay,
I said that,
we're on board.
I was like, it there's a definite line between like natural instinct and talent, and then just man hours of putting in.
Yes.
Like you have to have like raw talent to be like very, very like very successful at something,
Yes.
but you can't achieve success at anything if you work hard enough.
Right. So what I argue is that like creative stuff isn't like chess. Chess has a set rules.
There's logic to it.
Well, yeah, but the rules never change. So,
Okay.
you know, it's like any game pretty much with set rules, you know, like chess. If you put in the time, you're going to get good. Like, there's no way you're not if you keep doing it over and over again.
Yeah.
But with like art, you have one-hit wonder bands who have no idea what they're doing, and it's like a hit anyway. So I just, I tell people, you know, put in the time, but it has to be intentional. Like,
Yeah.
you know, don't just practice good practice. I'm not even, like, putting words together, but you know what I mean. Like, just intention and exploration. Like, that's huge. Like, try something different. You know, if you're trying to learn how to draw the weird stuff. I don't know.
Well, and like I think like just making challenges for yourself.
Yes.
Like when I first started photography, like, and I recommend this to everyone, I didn't have money, and so I had one camera body that was in my price range and one lens.
Not a whole lot.
And so do what you can with what you have.
Yes.
And like that molds you in ways that you don't expect, because like when you do have the resources to like upgrade to the materials that you like want and at most times need, you're able to like take principles that you learned when you had nothing and apply them when you have the resources.
Oh my god, that like hits home with like the iPad craze, because like not everybody can buy an iPad and an Apple Pencil, especially like why make the investment if you're just starting to learn lettering.
Yeah.
So learn lettering, like paper and pen, or pen and paper first, and then like once you're good at that, make the investment to do technology and stuff.
How many murals have you done?
Murals.
Murals.
Like in this building.
Oh yeah, how many in this building right now?
I've got 3 kind of done. I need to add color and stickers to the ones on. So 1 completed.
Okay.
And that needs touch up still. So 0 completed, but there's 3 that are majority paint on the wall.
So total, how many will there be in this building when you're done?
6.2, because I have. They were going to have me do 1 more, and I ran out of time, so they got it vinyled.
Oh, okay.
Vinyled?
I don't know.
Not a verb. They printed vinyl of my design on the wall. So
Does it look the same as like this?
I don't know. I've never had a vinyl mural. Not the same as this. Like, this looks like it's been done by hand.
Okay,
but, like,
so it doesn't match.
it'll be a surprise. Yeah. Well, and it's not on a like dark wall like this or anything. It's back
Oh, so
up
it's
in,
different.
Yes, it's
Oh,
in the
so
kitchen.
that's good.
It's in the kitchen.
Oh, fun.
So maybe it should look clean and not like gritty.
Not only that, but
Cut that out. Remind me after this. I have an idea to talk to you about.
Okay.
Sorry. More to come. Any closing remarks?
Closing thoughts.
Yeah. Please
no.
do share.
I know you said you don't feel like you've talked about anything of substance, but I feel like you shared a lot, and I'm very glad to have you on.
Thank you. I feel so grateful that I've been chosen as like one of the starting few for the podcast.
Yeah, and then you look back and you're like, he did such a terrible job with mine.
No.
You have to, and that'll just give you an incentive to come back on again.
Yes. Yes, I could be on board with that.
And on that note, we will end the podcast.
Perfect.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you. Oh, that was fun.